Hello everyone, we should be live now. So welcome to Weekly Market Recap. As every week, I'm here with our educators and mentors, Bruno and Jake. To my right hand side is Jake Torres. Welcome on the show, Jake.
Hello, everyone.
And to my left hand side is Bruno Perinelli from Argentina. How are you doing, Bruno?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Actually, pretty excited for the Easter holiday here in Europe. We're gonna have ourselves a wonderful time with some nice traditions. So, let's start by going over what we have experienced in the markets over the previous weeks. Now, Bruno, could you sum up European and American markets for us in the previous week?
Yeah, of course. Well, after a risk-on week, we got some risk-off sentiment rising this last few days with some lower than expected labor indicators in the US that are maybe showing some weakening in the first economy, fewer than expected job vacancies first, and then a lower than expected job creation according to ADP, also a higher jobless claims. And we saw some producers' prices came in below forecast. This could tame inflation expectations and future rate hikes by the European Central Bank. And obviously, the NFP is going to be released in 2.5 hours. 239K jobs are supposed to have been created in March. So we're looking forward to this number.
Thank you for the sum up. What are we expecting from the NFP today?
I mean, an average number around 200,000 jobs created. According to the ADP, which used to be a predictor of the NFP, the ADP, for the ones that don't know, is a public survey that questioned around 400,000 companies. And according to that job creation, that's supposed to know how many jobs were created in the United States as total. So around 150,000 jobs were created according to the ADP. So the NFP could come below expectations, below that 239,000. So we could expect that.
Thank you very much, Bruno. Jake, what have we seen in the Asian markets over the last week? What were the most important events?
Number one is the interest rate decision from the RBA, and of course, number two is from the RBNZ. And the RBA delivered. No, I'll just hold the rates as expected. And the initial the immediate market reaction was a dovish. So we saw a weakness from the Australian dollar from starting from Asian session up to the end of the New York session. And on for the RBNZ, that is the most interesting thing to happen because they surprised the market. Now the expectation was just 25 basis point rate hike, but they delivered 50 basis point. And of course, we saw an immediate strength from the New Zealand dollar out of that. And for our currency that we are tracking, the AUD NZD, it is finally cracking those level of support at 1.0650 support zone. But the AUD is making some reversal to the upside right now. But on the fundamental side, it is still a bearish. My sentiment or my bias for this pair is still bearish out of that recent rate hike from those two central banks.
Thank you. Now, guys, what can we be expecting moving forward into the next week? Well, we have the Easter holiday in front of us in the weekend. So I definitely recommend all of you to spend some time with your families. Enjoy the holidays if you celebrate them. For our U.S. traders, enjoy the Easter Monday. The egg hunting seems like a wonderful and fun tradition. I'd love to have that here. So next week, Bruno, what can we be expecting in the European and American markets?
Well, first of all, I agree with you. There's going to be less activity due to the Easter holiday today and on Monday. In the US, the CPI and Fed minutes are going to be released on Wednesday. We got the PPI on Thursday and retail sales on Friday, just to measure the level of the activity in the first economy. Also in Europe, we got retail sales to be released on Tuesday, and German inflation, I mean the actual number after the last week's preview, and the Swiss PPI. Those are the main events for next week.
So what are the currencies or overall places where you see the biggest opportunities happening in the next week?
Well, I guess it all depends on how the sentiment in the market is, because if you have a risk-on, risk-off sentiment switching from one day or 1 week to the other, that changes completely. So I would focus especially on the safe haven currencies such as the Swiss franc or the Japanese yen. Either to go long when you have a risk-off sentiment arising, or to go short if the risk-on prevails in the markets.
Thank you for those insights. Jake, what can we be looking forward to in the Asian sessions?
Next week on Tuesday, that is 11th of April, will be the CPI print from China, and it is affecting the Australian dollar currency. That is worth to keep on our radar. And on Thursday, of course, the labor data from Australia, and if we get some positive numbers from the labor data from Australia, we might also that might also be a catalyst for the AUD upside, especially for the AUD NZD pair. This is currently at the support zone, but it doesn't mean that I will change my bias in the medium term. Probably that will only be playing out just a short-term opportunity, like the intraday trading opportunity.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Where is it that you see the biggest opportunities? You said AUD and ZD. Are there any other pairs that you would personally be watching?
We could also incorporate the rest sentiment analysis if that current release will be let's say, for example, if it will be a risk on environment, so we could also pair the AUD with the Japanese yen or the Swiss franc, and if we get a positive number, so that will be an opportunity to buy the AUD versus the yen.
All right. Thank you, Jake. Well, traders, that is what you can be expecting in the upcoming week. We have a wonderful holiday in front of us. So those of you who are watching live, I wish you a beautiful Easter wherever you are, whether you celebrate it or not. And those of you who are watching on Monday in our newsletter, I wish you a successful week trading. And we'll see you once again next Friday at 11 a.m. time in the UK. And for now, I just wish you a wonderful weekend. Have a good one.